the first of 2 July dates before the summer break in the Yamaha R3 Blue Crew European Championship. The fourth of 6 rounds in the 2023 campaign saw the riders head to historic Donington Park. A second consecutive pole for Kevin Fontana, runner-up in race 2 of the 2022 UK rounds, with the top 2 in this year's point standings, Emiliano Ercolani and Gustavo Manso, less than 0.2 of a second behind him in qualifying. The star of the opening lap, though, was Dorian Joulin, already a podium finisher on his European debut in Barcelona. The 16-year-old, last year's French Supersport 300 runner-up, stormed through from 8th on the grid to lead less than 4 kilometres from lights out. Unfortunately, though, the number 19's challenge for a first victory was ended as early as lap 2 in a crash that also ruled out Aldi Satya Mahendra. The Indonesian, who recently celebrated his 17th birthday, was attempting to recover from a 5-place grid penalty for slow riding during Superpole, turned across the path of Joulin into Redgate, and the pair ended up in the gravel trap at the end of the Wheatcroft Straight. Kevin Fontana dropped to 4th in the championship at the Emilia-Romagna round last month. The first weekend this season he's been kept off the podium. But the Brazilian led no less than 8 laps over the line on the number 26 bike, exchanging top spot with Gustavo Manso throughout. With 6 laps to go, Mark Vick also came through for second. It had been a subdued start to the race for series leader number 9 Emiliano Ercolani, but he set about the defence of his sizeable 35-point advantage on lap 8, charging through from 6th to 3rd with a bold move to join Manso and Vick at the front. Pritipat Kenkum earned his first podium at Misano, and he remained in contention for another at Donington Park. Blue Crew Thailand star had led briefly on lap 2, but spent most of the race in 5th or 6th until the penultimate lap, when Gustavo Manso ran wide at the Melbourne hairpin trying to defend the lead, and the 32 of Kenkum slotted through into second, later picking up the lead at the start of the final lap. His advantage, though, was short-lived. He was swallowed up by the pack into the Fogarty S's, dropping to 5th down the Dunlop Straight for the final time, while Mark Vick cut back through to lead. Side by side through the Fogarty S's behind him, Manso and Fontana, with the number 80 putting the squeeze on the 26 and Emiliano Ercolani running out of room as he tried to get alongside. Ercolani went down spectacularly and Kenkum had nowhere to go in avoidance. Both thankfully remounted, Ercolani taking 3 valuable points towards his title lead, and Fontana successfully claimed second from Manso on the inside at the Melbourne hairpin. That late race drama had spread out the lead group somewhat, although there was a close finish for 6th as David Novak claimed his best result in 3 seasons. Celebrations, meanwhile, for Mark Vick, who claimed his first podium in 2021 and is now a race winner at the 27th attempt.
I feel really good. For me, this race was incredible because we were doing a great job and enjoyed. I feel good.
Gustavo Manso and Kevin Fontana were again the early leaders in race 2, but it was Aldi Satya Mahendra who was set to star, twice coming through the field after receiving a double long lap penalty for irresponsible riding in his crash earlier in the day. The race 2 winner at Misano, Mahendra was right among the front runners from the start and was well placed in second before he served the first part of the penalty on lap 3. He rejoined at the back of a 14-rider train. For the next 2 laps, he spectacularly made clean passes inside and out, riding through some pain in his ankle and setting fastest laps of the race on his way through. In fact, he was soon back to challenging for the lead, but again he dropped to the back of the group when he served the second part of his penalty, this time rejoining in 10th and 2 seconds behind the leader. A lap later, though, and Mahendra was already back up to 5th, and the action was behind him. A big high side for Christian Stringhetti, also bringing down the unfortunate Mark Vick and Valentin Arnaud. Mission Mahendra, meanwhile, was completed with a pass on the 80 Gustavo Manso into the Melbourne hairpin on the penultimate lap. Emiliano Ercolani on the 9, also menacing in pursuit of his 4th win of the campaign. Manso tried to answer straight back, but he ran too deep into Goddard's and lost his bid to lead into the final lap. Ercolani took maximum benefit of his main rival's error, springing from third to first and getting his head down, building a buffer at the front that lasted as far as the back straight and through the first 10 turns. The championship leader still headed the field into the Melbourne hairpin, but Mahendra timed his move to perfection, slipping through from third to first. Now all that remained was for Kevin Fontana and Gustavo Manso to settle third behind Ercolani. The 26 and the 80 made contact twice on the run to the final turn, Fontana claiming the high ground on the inside and coming out on top, only to receive a post-race penalty that dropped him off the podium. A well-deserved and entertaining win for Aldi Satya Mahendra, his second in 3 races.
Very, very hard for this race. I have a 2 long lap penalty and I have a not good feeling in my leg. I have a crash in turn 1 in race 1, but I'm happy because I have a win in Donington. I want to say thank you to my team, YAMAHA Racing Indonesia and team BR Course, also all sponsors for support me. Yeah, I will do all my best in Imola. See you.
The main change to the standings sees Mark Vick drop to 4th as a result of his Race 2 retirement. The first race weekend of the season without a win for Emiliano Ercolani, and his Race 1 crash sees his championship lead reduced to 27 points as the competitors prepare for their second visit to Italy and the penultimate round of the season in less than 2 weeks' time.